Hello, welcome to another great episode of Royal Black and Elite. Today's episode is going to be a little different because it's going to be a top five, and it's all about the review of Woman King. It took me a little while to do this review because I was so torn. I knew as soon as the movie was announced that the cinematography and action and wardrobe was going to be on point, and I was right. But I was also concerned about the authenticity of the story and this missed opportunity for our Black community to heal from the truth from what happened in the past. For some people, this is the first time they've ever heard of the Dahomey tribe, not to mention their brutality and the slave trading that they did, engage in. And so for us to make this seem like it was beautiful or that just because the colors were great or the cinematography was great, that truthfully the story that was undergirding what we're looking on the screen was heartbreaking. It broke a continent. And so to make light of it as if it's just a story to tell and that these Dahomey women really, overcame and helped people, that wasn't the case. They raided other villages to bring slaves to Europeans to sell across the world. It doesn't get any uglier than that. And so I wanted to make this top five so that we could bring a realization to as to why people are pushing back on the Woman King. Thank you for joining me. I'm Lady Trinette Wilson, and I want to thank everyone for subscribing. Y'all loved my last video. I turned the music down in this one so that you can hear every word. Now, as always, thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Let's get into the top five reasons people are pushing back on the Woman King. Now, this list is in no particular order. However, these are the things that I found during discussion with colleagues and others, and also listening to other reviews that came out of the discussion, and what was really pointed out as the things that made it difficult to watch this film as a Black person. Finding out this information for the first time that the Dahomey tribe and the Dahomey warrior women were greatly involved in the slave trade. So this is in no particular order. It's just what came out of my studies and the information. The movie is produced by a white woman. So the story on the slave trading kingdom of Dahomey was brought to life by Maria Bello, and she calls Nairobi, Kenya, her happy place. Now, she and a friend of hers, Dana Stevenson, got together and wrote the screenplay, and Kathleen Schuleman was the one who put the money together to make the film a thing. So these three white women came together in their fantasizing. In fact, Maria Bello said that after watching Braveheart with Mel Gibson, she felt there needed to be a story about women warriors, as well as other stories from around Africa. So these Black stories told by white people, this is nothing unusual. But to depict Black women in this way, where our culture is today, well, it was just really, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. The homie, they facilitated slave trading, and here this woman, because she has been in the culture and been dancing in the woods with African tribes, feels like she can take liberty and tell the story the way she wants to tell it, without first laying the groundwork and acknowledging the pain that Black people went through and the healing that still needs to take place. Now, this is not, to me, unusual. White women want to see Black women as burly, big, strong, fighting men instead of being the protected one. So this does not surprise me. But I believe that's one of the first reasons people are having a problem with this movie. It's because it's from the minds and the hearts of white women. Now, from a cinematography and direction standpoint, the movie was beautiful. Of course, these three white women got a Black woman, Gina Prince Blackwood, to be the director. Again, she did a beautiful job, but it still does not negate the story that they were telling. And it was an ugly story, and it needed to be told in a different way as far as the truth of what happened during that time. Now, our second reason is obviously it was the Dahomey tribe. They were slave traders. They killed their people. They sacrificed children. It was not anything to be glorified. And so, because of that, it should have been dealt with again, as I said, begin from the beginning in a truthful and honest way. And if they really missed an opportunity to open up a discussion about this in Black communities and begin to be healed from really what happened in the past during the slave trade. I would hate to think what they would do with a story that we have even here in America that there were Black slave holders, owners, even before the Civil War. And so, these stories need to be told from a truthful aspect so that we as a community can deal with it. So now we move to the next reason I think that people kind of have a real big pushback. And it's the continued masculization of Black women. When you look at television, and it has really gotten pervasive now where you see them in a negative light, and it has continued throughout history. We see here in Woman King that the tradition continues. They make the women seem as masculine as possible, making their skin shiny, beyond shiny. But then when they depict women Amazon warriors who are white, they make them appear sexy, even feminine, even though they have big muscles and outfits that are similar as far as, being kind of rough and tumble. And so, why this difference in how they present women of color and white women as it relates to warriors, women warriors? And so, that's another reason that people are up in arms because, once again, they have Black women out here looking like straight up dudes. It's not funny. And as a feminine woman and as an etiquette professional, I would have liked to see them to be a little bit more feminine. However, I would have liked not to see the movie at all unless it was told from a truthful point of view. The fourth reason the audiences and Black people in general are pushing back on this movie is because of the feminization, continued feminization of Black men. Just like they masculizing the women, they're demasculizing the men. And so we see King Gezo in this particular movie, was supposedly in a relationship with another man, even though there's nowhere in history that says that he was that way. The other thing is he shares his authority with Viola Davis in the movie, but that would never happen. So once again, taking liberty with history, especially where Black men are concerned, always quick and willing to give up their masculinity and their power. I love a powerful man. I love a powerful Black man. And I wish that they would have stuck close to really what the story was because in the movie, Viola Davis defied him. And nowhere in the world you're going to give power to a person who defies you. So, in my mind, this further cemented the weakness of the Black man in this movie. Now, my fifth and final reason really doesn't have anything to do with the movie. It really has to do with you and with me. What is happening is Black America is waking up. They're waking up to their history. They're going and doing their research and not just taking everything whole cloth. By tuning in to our podcast here at Royal Black and Elite, you are learning things about our history that used to be hidden, that people really didn't talk about or wasn't in mainstream. But that's why I started this channel so that we could know that when we see things, that we question it, we talk about it, and we deal with it and see historically if it's true. That's why I became a social historian. Now, there will be some who go and see this movie and they love the action, they love the cinematography. Once again, I've said it is beautiful, it was beautiful. and never do their research about the story. What really happened? Who were the Dahomey? What happened to the Black people in this story in real life? But many understand that we cannot put lipstick on a pig. We cannot continue to not have a conversation around Blackness and how we are defined in modern culture. So I really have to celebrate the people who are standing up within the Black community who are saying, no, 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 we can tell our stories, but we won't tell them like this. A movie can be beautiful and well acted, but it won't be the untruth of what was done to us as a people. On a scale of 1 to 10, action, cinematography, it's a definite 10. It's a great movie as far as if you like action. But as far as healing the rift in our community and dealing with the pain that was caused us because of the Dahomey tribe and many others, the Dahomey weren't the only ones who were dealing with the slave trade, but they were some of the most prolific, and 20% of the slaves were sold through the Dahomey. And so to make a movie like this, they should have been more responsible and more sensitive to the Black community. So that's my top 5 reasons why I believe we're having problems with the Woman King. It's my personal opinion and analysis, and everything that's been used has been used for entertainment and education purposes. I hope that you've learned a lot, and I really thank you for tuning in. Now remember to go like, share, and subscribe, and pick up my book, Royal, Black, and Elite, so you can continue learning all about us as a people. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in our next great episode.